Yeah, let's get that music off there. Good morning, everybody. There's Richard Bryce, g'day, and we got Gotta Love Thailand. Good morning, and of course Todd's here. Let me sort of bring up Todd. Where's Todd? There's Todd there. G'day, Todd.
Morning. Morning.
There you go. Finish my coffee. Oh, excuse me. So how is everybody? Alan, how are you? Whereabouts are you now, Alan? I think didn't you make it over to Thailand? And of course we've got Bolt joined us. G'day, Bolt. How you doing? Malcolm K. We're going to have to get Bolt doing the live stream soon enough. Ask him a lot of questions. You can always come on. He knows how to use his Discord now. I don't know if he's got it on his laptop though. But it'd be good to have sort of Bolt along there because he's the one who's very knowledgeable about Thailand and all this sort of Thai words because he's actually learned to speak Thai a bit after 9 years of being here. Mark Van Dorn, g'day Mark. Come on and join us on the Discord. You know how to do it. Press the other button. Where are you? Just bring that up on there so I can see if anybody does drop in. Oh my god, too many screens. For some reason my mouse is really sensitive today. What are we going to do? I'm going to knock it down one fraction. It's got one of these. It's one of these mouses with the accelerator button on it, and you got 6 speeds. You got really high precision, and then low precision, and of course because you're gaming and you're hitting all the buttons all the time, I keep on making the thing go super fast. Andy Stubbs. And Dallo finally made it back. He messaged me. He says, "I've missed the last couple of weeks." And then, oh my God, look, just pop into my house. Let me put some clothes on. All right.
Good morning, everybody from Thailand, from Pattaya in Thailand.
Pattaya in Thailand, yes. Mark is doing his you both are. A couple of Mark up. So Mark's down in Pattaya doing his what do you call it? Quarantine.
Quarantine. So 7 and a wake up. Seven more sleeps and I'm out.
7 more sleeps. And just for all those insomniacs, just remember it's 2 more sleeps to Christmas.
Turn this up. I can't see the comments, so I'll do that now. All right, so I'm here live. Let's go.
He's live. Yeah. So, what did you think about the bike riding yesterday, Mark? Thought?
I got for about 5 minutes. Then we had a power cut in the building, so I lost everything.
You lost everything.
All my Wi-Fi, lost internet for everything. So yeah.
Gotta love the power cuts in Thailand. Really, to be honest, I think we've been here now, 4 months now? Oh God, June, July, it's 4 months, we've been here 4 months. We've had 1 power outage, and that was for 90 minutes. Don't really know what caused that. We've had about maybe 4 or 5 brownouts. The worst part about the brownout, I've got a Wi-Fi extender downstairs, which the big 70-inch TV plugs into for its Netflix. And of course when you get the brownouts, because everything up here is all on UPS, so this connection here, which is the cabled connection to the fibre, that stays online, but somehow the brownouts causes the repeater to go weird and sort of partially connect upstairs. It's like it just loses its signal enough to cause something, and of course then Netflix craps out on you because it's not going at full speed, and then it's sort of, oh God, it takes you half an hour to get everything reset after a brownout. But anyway, we did this video's not been put up yet, but I'll give you a bit of a preview if I can find it. Where are we? This will be coming out in the next day or two. I've got to do the shortened version. Hey, what? What are you thumbs up? Oh, you're saying thumbs up to everybody on the channel, eh?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, and now you've made me interrupt. Johnny Siam and Rob Groves and Andy Stubbs.
Oh, g'day. Yes, like you can take care of them. Johnny Steele, there we go. X and a low. Yeah, I only get a couple of, yeah, okay. So, cruising with the Sons of Arthritis, there we go. And of course, it's not going to play full screen for me. Let me just see if I can get that in the middle of the screen. And well, let's press the pause button. I'll share it to the other guys as well so that they can see it. Yeah, too many buttons to press. Screen, so they'll get the audio when I feed it to them. Right, okay, go live with that. Yeah, so let's turn the volume back up again. Yeah, so this video will be out in the next day or two. What we've done is we've got, yeah, there we go. Cruising with the Sons of Arthritis, ibuprofen chapter. As you can see here in this video here, we've got the camera up on the handlebars there, and we were streaming the ride into Discord, plus recording the Discord conversation, so these guys are riding with me.
A bit of a different sort of ride. G'day Todd, g'day Mark, how you going?
G'day, Wazza.
All at once, one over here. So I'm off to meet up with Bolt today. He wants to have a look at this gear that I'm wearing on the side of my helmet. So we're going to a local service station around the corner. Pick the right gear would help. And of course, the guys here on Discord, they can actually see the ride live, as if they were sitting on the handlebars. Another one of the charming things we have about technology these days. If you're part of our Discord community, we're going to be doing a lot more of these rides as we kit up the riders. But today it's only me and Bolt coming out today to just meet up. Eventually Todd will be here with his bike, and Mark will be here with his bike, and we'll all be going out. We're going to start a new chapter of the Sons of Arthritis, ibuprofen chapter.
I'm absolutely looking forward to it, Wazza.
Anyway, so that's something to look forward to down the track. We're going to be doing more of that. Hopefully we'll be able to get to Mark out of Pattaya and sort of coming up to actually hang out with real people.
So a few people want to know how I feel. This is for Dowlo, seeing he's having cabin fever. Mm-hmm. Let me just take you outside.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go bigger.
Really
there we go.
Look at that for a view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good one, Mark.
How you feeling, Dowlo?
That's it. Yeah. Just don't go too far out, because I know you'll lose your Wi-Fi when you drop outside.
Yeah. So for I know Robert Groves just had a comment. I'm going really good, Robert, in quarantine. I've got 7 and a wake up. I haven't got enough time in the day to do everything, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's going good.
Good.
Yeah, get a haircut, yeah. That's the second thing I'm going to do when I get out of quarantine. Because as you know, you fellow Melbourne... There's a really good
haircutter up here in Soy 110, and it's only cost you 4 donuts.
4 donuts.
4 donuts, yes, I know. It's got to be the good donuts.
Yeah, of course, Krispy Kreme.
Okay, so what have we missed on the chat? So that's up there. So back to that thing. That video stuff's coming out in due course. I just got to finish the short version edit of that, the 20-minute version for the regular crowd. But the long play version will be up there as well. So there'll be a link to the long play for those people that want to go for an hour-long ride. And we're going to do more of that sort of stuff as time moves on, and we can predict the weather. Oh my God, it's raining today, by the way. Fingers crossed that Stalag Oz, Stalag 13 and Oz, will let people leave the prison camp. Yeah, I know. Yes, this is the way it goes. Gillette has been my barber for a while now. Well, Chanya's actually threatened to actually do that for me as well. She, you know, we were going down for a number 3, then we went to number 2, but now she's doing a bit more styling, you know. But she has threatened to actually do the number 1 and then completely take it all off. I don't know how that'd go. Maybe I should. So she could give it a try. It's only going to grow back, isn't it? Was it? I've already had the turkey ready for Christmas this Christmas. Oh my God!
Ooh.
Yo,
All the
yes.
trimmings
Oh,
too,
yeah.
I hope, Robert.
Yeah, the guy he has got an oven in his house, so I suppose he could do the whole roast turkey thing. I won't put an oven in. I don't sort of see the point of having something on the wall that takes up all that space, and you're only going to use it twice a year, because that's about as much as my microwave has the element in it, so I can reheat my pizza properly. So it'll heat it up at 300 watts, and it'll actually sort of turn the element on as well, and make the cheese melt again. The only way to reheat pizza. I learned how to cut my own hair during the lockdown. Easy thing. I used to have a set of clippers as well back in the 90s. When I was running my own business, I used to do the trimmer thing with number 4 comb. And that was my basic hairstyle back in the days before I let it grow out. Robert is coming out, so get turkey breast. Okay. There's Niall. Okay, Niall, how you doing? I had Psycho dropped in to see Susie yesterday. He didn't give me much more heads up about the fact that I said say hello to her. But he didn't come back to me on that one and sort of say anything was mentioned. But I do plan to get to see Susie soon enough. Our meetups on Friday meetups are now back on with the usual meetup.com crowd. I don't know how that. I'm going to wait a few weeks. I'm still waiting to get this whole. Where is it? I got this thing here done. This is my first injection certificate, and I read yesterday the fact that I should have been given the 13-digit code back then, but that 13-digit code thing didn't come in till August. And of course, now I've written to them and messaged them, and I doubt if I'll get a reply and say, well, how are you going to deal with that shit, foreigners being forgotten about again. You injected me with your crap, and now I want to know when I can get my passport or my certificate or my barcode for my app to work, so that when they want to do the check-in on at restaurants from October 1, that I can actually go and eat food. But I doubt if that's going to actually happen. Useless piece of shit that is. The only reason why I'm getting injections is the fact that they prevent you from having food otherwise. Meeting somebody in Plomchit today. I might drop in to say hello to Susie while I'm there. Well, do so, and get her on camera. Do a bit of a sort of a hook up, just so we can say hello to her. Your motive, but you've had the 2 injections, haven't you, Bolt? So, unfortunately, I don't have a Thai ID card. Neither do you. But this thing here, it has a 7-digit code on it. No, it's an 8-digit code. Doesn't have a 13-digit code. So, yeah. Supposedly, I'm going to get the code when I get my second injection, but no idea where that's going to be, how that's going to be organised. I've seen nothing in there. Who's contacting who. And I'll just hand it over to Chanya. She's going to have to deal with it. Hey, go round and round.
No, I was going to. Andy's asked. I've got to go on a diet because they give me so much food, as you guys know, and I sort of shared it with you two privately. But to anyone that can look into the apartment here, I must look like a complete nutter because I'm just going backwards and forwards until I clock up 3,000 steps. So I do that every day. I've got a heap of 1.5 kilo water bottles, so I'm sort of pumping water as I go. But Elaine's just asked a question, what documents would I need to get a haircut? If you were in Melbourne, apparently you need to be double vaccinated and you're not going to get a haircut till November. So the second thing I do when I get out of here is get a haircut. 4 donuts worth.
Yeah, 4 donuts worth of haircut, yeah.
I think it's about 2.5 Ks.
I used my 13-digit card from the pink ID you got. The vaccine, well, Pink ID when got the vaccine, and my digital certificate came up within minutes. I can give you a number to call where they can update your passport to the pink ID. Oh, look, if you could do that, I don't know if you've got me on Facebook, don't sort of send it here, but send it to me on Facebook or jump in the Discord channel and sort of send it to me privately there. That would be handy, something to chase up at least anyway. I hate handing these things off on to Chanya to try to sort out, because she gets all flustered with it. It's something about Thais and the way they deal with problem issues. They tend to sort of hope that they'll go away, and sort themselves out. But as I said, in 2 weeks' time, they're going to, not even 2 weeks' time, they're going to bring in this. You need to have the app and the barcode just to give you the entry into the restaurants, I'm in Bangkok. Yeah, another thing, we'll get onto that. I did put a title on this in this live stream today to what we're going to talk about. It's something that's came up on Facebook yesterday with Terry. Terry was planning to come to live in Thailand, and I've watched him over the last 12 months in America, doing up his house and renovating his house and all sorts of things, and all the dramas over the last 12 months while he got his house sold. And of course now he's ended up, I think he said he went to Mexico because he basically canned his whole idea of going to Thailand because of all the bullshit over here. But as I said, you're getting bullshit everywhere you go. So, I sent him a link to the 10 best retirement destinations. So I thought we might have a look at that when people want to talk about that. Is everybody seems to be chatting amongst themselves again.
It does seem to happen.
Did I have to pay? I don't know who's paying. Some people. The people in our meetup group, they've opted for going for the micro-RNA sort of vaccines and things like that, and they've been paying upwards of 3,500 to 3,000 to 4,000 baht to get their injections at private hospitals. But again, what I've also heard with that is if you go that private route, that doesn't register for your Chanya app or whatever the app that they're doing for the digital certificate. So they've paid money to get the vaccine to protect their health, but it's not being recognised by the Thailand system. So I'm using the Thailand system where the government sends you something to go and get the injection, and that's all done for free. My first one was the AstraZeneca. Supposedly my second one may even be the microRNA. But unfortunately, when you get the AstraZeneca, you got to wait 8 to 12 weeks, which means I could have it down now if they could just tell me. But nobody's telling me diddly squat. Useless.
Stephen Monash in the house.
Oh, quickly shut the door. Get him out of here. Ban him. He wants to come and talk about watches again.
I can if you want me to. I can put him in the naughty corner, but
no, he's got a spanner, so you can't do that, unfortunately. I have to take his spanner away first. Damn it! We can't ban a spanner. Yeah, just trying to catch up. Yeah, there's a bit chatty bunch today. we got the so we got the Pfizer vaccines for free charge here at the hospital. Yeah, okay, Robert. Yeah, so I don't know. I believe my next injection should be a Pfizer, and again, it's because it's been issued by the health system, it's going to be free. But I can't be 100% sure of that. You know, nothing's ever certain. We were supposed to be opening up tourists in September. Oh no, in 1st of October. That got pushed back to the 15th of October or 16th of October, and it's come through yesterday. Now that they're talking 1st of November, we'll get halfway through October, and then they'll go, it's going to be sort of December. This is the thing, it's an ongoing battle. You know, Thais want to be vaccinated, but they can't get it out fast enough. Not like America, where they're opting for their civil rights and don't want stuff in their arm. And of course, they'll never reach 70% vaccination in America with that sort of shit going on. It's not about vaccines anymore. It's about whether you're what do you call it, left wing or right wing government. You know, still beats me how life goes on in America sometimes.
Well, there's an interesting scenario playing out in Melbourne at the moment.
Oh yeah, Melbourne's going crazy with their yeah. Right, is it trying to add to the Medicare Australia records? That is our next challenge. Okay.
Well, if you get your vaccines here in Australia at the moment, it automatically goes to your Medicare Australian records.
Okay.
Yes,
and they're thinking about co-joining that with the Australian passport as a digital vaccine passport, and that was tabled, if my memory serves me correct, just over a week and a half ago.
Okay.
How they're going to do that, they've tendered a company, so it comes up like Australia's got that passport system where you can just stand in front of that eye-gazing machine and it says, that's you, welcome back, but they've shut all that down and it's all done manually at the moment.
Okay.
And Mark just went through that not that long ago. You can't use the auto gate system at the moment, but they're thinking of adding the vaccine passport to Australian passports at the moment to make it easier, but they've got to work out a way to make sure your Medicare system is as secure as the immigration system. So that's where that thing is at the moment.
Daniel Hinkley, so he says, great show guys, do you think Thailand can meet its target of 70% vaccinated by November? The numbers are looking suspiciously off kilter, but supposedly I read yesterday, I think, was it yesterday? On Friday this week, they managed to get over 1 million people, 1 million vaccines issued. Johnny Siam, couple marker. So they got just over 1 million vaccines stuck in your arm. Now that wasn't 1 million first doses or things that combined first dose, second dose and top-up doses, but they did manage to get 1 million needles done on Friday. So if that rate continues, then we may hit 70%, but again 70% is also they're talking about across the board, but every province is having issues. Like Bangkok is sort of teetering on maybe not reaching that because we've got 8.5 million people in Bangkok province. Here out west, and again, what vaccines do you get? Like the whole thing's a bit of a mess. It's just we're not actually seeing those numbers anywhere. What each province level has got. So Hua Hin's, for instance, they sort of said they've met every target that has been required by the CCSA. I think that's what they call themselves, isn't it? I don't know. See, they got some sort of acronym, the CCSA, I think that they call themselves. But Hua Hin's actually sort of got everything, checked all the boxes for what they considered to be the sandbox model and now the governor of Hawins has said, no, we're not. We're going to sort of toe the line with everybody else and not open up until 1st November. And of course, the other half of Hawins has gone up in arms. You can't keep on moving the goalposts because we've got people, we've got to get bookings, we've got to get everything, we're going and you can imagine what it's like from a point of view. So people now are making bookings to come to Thailand, or not so much Thailand. They're making their bookings to choose for a holiday destination, right? And so they're looking up the map where they're going to go. So do I go here? Do I go there? Do I go there? They would have been asking the question, I'd like to go to Thailand because of the weather, but without a confirmation of the fact that things are going to be opening up, they're now looking at second choices, like people in England, for instance. Thailand is a fairly sort of popular destination for English tourists, but now they're looking at, probably going, Mallorca, wasn't it? What was in the 70s sitcoms, there was always, somewhere in Spain that they would always go to for holidays.
Benidorm, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm trying to think of Faulty Towers. Was it Majorca?
Wasn't it Benidorm or something like that?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember that back that far. But yeah, so they're now sort of taking second bets of where they go, and of course the separation of Brexit has made those destinations in Europe also hard to get a hold of because they now need up-to-date passports before they could pretty much travel, I think, free between all European countries as long as they had a driver's license or something. But now they actually need passports, and of course again, like in America, I think only about 25% of Americans actually have a passport. A similar situation for England occurs. They just don't have passports, to get out of the country. But yeah. They don't just move the goalpost, he says. They change the shape of the goalpost. Goalposts become hockey nets, and sometimes it's a basketball hoop because it's so tight to fit into the. You know what I mean? Oh my God! So this is what we got. It's just a complete, people, the hotelier industry and the booking industries, they now need confirmation that Thailand will be open at a certain time so they can start taking bookings. But of course, with this moving the goalposts and jumping through all the basketball hoops, people are sort of choosing other places to go, like Malaysia or Philippines, and I don't even know how open those countries are right now. So there you go. Brits have always needed a passport to. Have they? Okay, so I didn't realise that. Roy, thanks for that. I know we as Australians needed a passport to visit England, even though that was the mother country.
Malcolm makes a good point about Pfizer.
I have faith in Pfizer and its COVID vaccine. Because they also make. I know that's the typical meme that's going out. I know how that goes. Anyway, do we want to look at? Do we want to have a look at this whole alternate destination sort of scenario? Let me see if I can get it up on screen without breaking everything. Okay, so in this, what we should do is, can we sort of do a bit of a juggle with the overall shape of things here and get everybody on here again. This is something.
No, Robert, they haven't.
This is something StreamYard does really well, which I've got to do very manually here on Discord. So get the guys over on the sort of side there. Yeah, so this little article here, of course, better share the article with the guys as well. Hold on, so they can see what we're looking at.
Oh, Aaron. Oh.
Yeah, so this one here for top 10. Top 10-y? Was it her top 10-y? Okay. 10 best countries to retire overseas on a budget. That was the the name of the article, and I thought, we love Thailand because it's Thailand, but there are other countries to choose. If you're looking for a budget destination to retire, the number of retirees abroad increase each year. The reason is simple: people are always looking for a new experience, new environment, and a lower cost of living without compromising good standard of life. But while you may only be concerned about where you can live comfortably on a reasonable budget, it is also essential that you consider your safety as a top priority. In other words, if you're going to stay anywhere, you should ensure a place is equally secure. The Top 10 Travel Online Journal Top 10 shows 10 perfect places for retirement to help you with your quest for a secure country on a budget. Now, I don't know when was this article? That's trending, but I don't know how old this article is. I don't think they actually date stamped it. Did they date stamp it? No, they didn't. So it could be a couple of years old for all I know. But anyway, so what have we got? First one, the lovely city of Panama, lovely beaches, high-rise buildings. Just nudge me if we're going to answer any questions here from these guys. What do we got? Okay, so let me just. Okay, so let me just copy that. Control C. I just need to run up a notepad or something so I can save that. Okay, file, save as. I'll throw that on my desktop somewhere. Here we go. Let's save for later. Thanks for that. Okay. Andy Stubbs, international travel, or whatever. Anyway, Panama. Okay. Panama sits atop of our list as it ranks the first in a global living index rankings. I don't know who makes these rankings up, of course. According to one expert, Panama is one of the best places anyone would want to be after retiring. It is blessed with a decent amount of sunshine, and it is seated beneath the hurricane belt. You shouldn't find any difficulty migrating to Panama because the official currency is the American dollar, plus the place is packed with plenty of doctors who can speak English fluently. They have got a high quality healthcare system, infrastructure is great, the internet is superb, and they've got a stable government and favourable climate, and you can climate that can allow you to do business if you wish. Favourable government, favourable climate, business climate. Yeah, you can live comfortably in Panama for roughly $1,000 US or less per month. I'm assuming that's per month. But yes, look, I've sort of seen a few of these things. Panama does come up as a top destination. I don't know, sort of, if push comes to shove and there was another military junta takeover here in Thailand, would I leave? Probably not, because I've got to get the girl out of here, and whether she could get an exit permit from a military regime here, that could be a completely different question. I'd probably just wait it out, because the fact that the typical thing with Thailand and their military coups, they're a flash in the pan exercise. They're usually bloodless, and life goes on irrespective of what government's going on in power. Anyway, right, so Panama is great for US citizens for sure. Okay, yeah. Martin's Thailand. Good morning, Martin. How's your new living environment? I saw you put another video up this morning. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know how you're doing there. Darren Cooper. I got my cancellation from Thai embassy last night at 7 p.m. Cancellation. What have you been cancelled for?
He's talking about COE cancellation, Wazza. I'm trying to find some bits and pieces about it now, but it hasn't been gazetted, so yeah.
That's right. Everything you got to. That's the key element. Anything here in this Thailand has got to go through the Royal Gazette. So there's a lot of hearsay that goes through the traps because everybody's trying to sort of pat themselves on the back here in Thailand. They're trying to make out business as usual in everything that they do, which is quite contrary to really what's going on here. So yeah, it's anybody's guess what's going to go on. I tend to take the thing, until you can actually see it as being, happening, or it's in the Gazette, then don't make any plans. That's basically what it comes down to.
Well, with my trip, all I can say is I'm planning it as in there's 14 days quarantine. I have to do a COE. I've got to do everything as it is today. If there's any changes, it could happen within 12, 24 hours. So I'm a few weeks away from flying out, but I've still got to do things as they are now. That's what I've been told by the Thai embassy. So do it as it is now. Yeah.
And that's the way it's always going to be, it's just because, they've got to work towards the checkbox system as well. Paul in Sydney. Sydney will be out of lockdown next month, but we will still not be able to fly to Queensland, West Australia, Victoria, or overseas. Yeah, I know. I'm hearing sort of similar stuff. But as I said, people are escaping. You just got to have a good reason. I think the only thing is it's holidaying, isn't it? From what I understand, it's only if you've got a legitimate reason outside holiday destinations, then they'll let you travel. But most people just want to go and spend 2 weeks in Queensland or on the Gold Coast or in Cairns or somewhere sunny. But that's the sort of stuff. Unless of course you've got business there, then stay at home. Anyway, Costa Rica. You can think of Costa Rica as a great country outdoors. You can dive, go hiking, surfing, horses, golf, fish. It's a place blessed with a sunny and warm climate. Costa Rica is a steady and natural choice for anyone who plans to retire abroad. They have a peaceful transition in all their democracy, in all their democracies. How many democracies have they got? Also, they have shown great hospitality to anyone who comes from outside. Trust me, there is no better place than this to spend your dollars. And due to the health nature of the expat community around here, there have been several reports of expats shedding extra weight without too much effort. With $1,500 a month, you can live a decent life around these parts. Okay. Looks like it's a weight loss destination. Not quite sure how that one works. What's so good about is it the food? Looks like beaches and forests seem to be a bit of a theme there. Terry, I believe Terry moved to Mexico, but he doesn't like where he moved to, so didn't quite sort of catch the old drift of where what he felt was wrong with Mexico. But that's where he ended up. But he wants to get out now. He's looking for alternatives. Many people connect Mexico to the place that tourists prefer to go for holidays on the beach. Well, that's not true. There are many things you may not have known about this great country. It is a gorgeous location that stems of culture. In addition to their peaceful beaches, lies colonial cities packed with art, theatre, colourful homes. This explains why so many Americans in Mexico. You don't need to make a hole in your pocket to live comfortably. You can live comfortably on a budget for $1,500 a month. Okay, but of course you've got all the crime down there. Crime, I believe, is one of the bad things about Mexico. People in America can sort of obviously probably attest to that because they don't want to let Mexicans back into the country. So there must be some sort of issue. I left the dummies, so no, so it should be. Okay, Ecuador. Ecuador promises an old world kind of charm that makes you feel like you are living in the 50s. If you include their friendly residents, clean living, modern cities and excellent service, you will get the perfect retirement spot. The Ecuadorian climate is both unbeatable and unbelievable. It has got something for everyone, from the hot beaches to the cold mountains. There is plenty of it for nature lovers. The standard of living is also high quality. You only need about $1,000 per month to live as a single. Okay. Some nice pictures there. And they've got snow-covered mountains. There you go. Wonder if they've got any skiing. Dogs or what's dogs or demons? What? What are dogs or demons? What are you talking about?
Well, there's a
it's the
football
AFL
match.
Grand Final.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't follow the football. Anyway, so Malaysia. Oh, come on. Can we just get that? Okay. Southeast Asians have been a surprising. Southeast Asians have been a surprising location. That doesn't make sense. Surprising location of most Americans. And when it comes to Malaysia, there are many more to expect in terms of surprises. With English as their unofficial first language, migrating to this destination shouldn't give you too much trouble. Settling down in Malaysia is much easier than many people assume. Other things is that most home rentals do not cost anything compared to the US. With their efficient, cheap and accessible public transport, moving from one place to another can be very easy. You can conveniently explore the other parts of Asia from this place as well. Singles can live peacefully on $1,000 per month, the monthly budget, except I don't think you can buy bacon, or bacon's very hard to get. So does that make sense? I believe it's predominantly Muslim, so getting your bacon and eggs in the morning might be a bit of a problem. No comment?
Okay. No.
No.
Oh,
Well, but
I was on the phone. Sorry.
you no comment? Okay.
I was just trying to work out what time the footy's starting, so I'm trying to go 7:15, count back from.
Okay. So I make a bacon joke and I get no comment from anybody for the bacon joke. Oh my God! I said,
No, all I know is I love my bacon. I mean,
was that a stunning revelation? Was it?
Bacon? No. You can have beef bacon. You can have lamb bacon. I don't mind.
You can have pork bacon.
Bacon word. I was just I was thinking about my smoker I'm going to get when I get there. You can even smoke your own and make your own. I just had pictures popping in my head of, okay, which leg of meat am I going to smoke first in my offset smoker? I mean, you mentioned bacon and all of a sudden I'm thinking about recipes.
Yeah, Johnny Cheyenne gave me a recipe, told me to pack brown sugar and something or other to smoke bacon when I got over here, so I couldn't squeeze it in. I couldn't squeeze a fart in my suitcase.
Well, brown sugar. I've seen brown sugar in the Big C market up here, so that's fairly easy to get a hold of. You won't find it as
have brown sugar. You just use molasses.
Yeah, you could.
Colombia. They said that this is very upbeat, talk about all the great things. Like, I think some of these countries also have quite some negatives. They're saying Colombia here at $1,200 per month for a single person. Yeah. Again, water seems to be a theme. Old architecture with high skyrise. Portugal. Portugal, they're sort of saying $2,000 a month for Portugals. whereas couples on 2,500. So that's probably something to consider as well. Peru, sort of they're saying $2,000 a month on Peru. And Thailand, there's never a dull moment in a place like Thailand. We have plenty of, we know what Thailand's like. So Thailand did actually make this list. The other list I had, Thailand didn't make the other list. They're saying $1,000 per month, and this is always a conjecture. Like really, I suppose it's doable. But yeah, talk about that's doable if you want to avoid the nightlife. I think. Thailand becomes one of these. Why is that put in that little thing? I'm not going to do that. Why wants to actually make me do a post under Thailand? Anyway, so Thailand, $1,000 a month. Yes, I think you can do it on $1,000 a month, but in reality, you've got to look at cost of living and that standard of living, or single person in a rental. Predominantly eating Thai food, watching TV, sitting on the beaches, and minding your own business. Yeah, you could probably get away with $1,000 a month, but if you're gonna have a girlfriend, well, add another $1,000 a month to start with, because you're paying for two. And if you're going to be sort of, if you're going to be sort of, going into a mortgage, that's going to have a heavy play on it. I spend about $2,000 US a month on average, and I have a reasonably comfortable lifestyle. It's trying to get less than that, but don't forget we've got 4 bikes, 2 car, 1 car. Well, the second car parks is not ours, but electricity, phones, all the other stuff. Keeping your girls in decent clothing, because she likes to dress up, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, a couple wouldn't really sort of be hard pressed to live on less than $2,000 US a month. But I have heard people doing it for less. Martin probably sort of is in a situation at the moment because of his recent dramas he's had. He's probably going to have to try to sort of budget on $500 a month, for the next 6 months until he gets himself back on his feet. Poor lad. Don't buy your girlfriend a car unless, of course, it's a long-term relationship. Oh my God. Sorry, Martin. Let the cat out of the bag. I know. Look, you've told people already so on your channel. It's okay. I think it's okay to let the cat out of the bag on that one.
Martin has a very positive attitude.
He does, yes.
He's an intelligent young man, and looking at his video yesterday, and you can already see the change in his persona. He's fired up. He's got that true grit. A lesser man would have put his tail between his legs and hightailed it back to Australia. But he's a fighter. And he'll succeed. He's got that drive and ambition. He'll succeed.
Yeah, that's it. As long as he can get himself get his business permit back up and running, because I believe he's had to shut down, had to nullify his current business license. So I can only assume the fact that business license is what they call province specific, and you're going to get a different one when you get a different province. So I can't work that one out. I thought if you've got a business, an OB visa, I would have thought it'd be sort of countrywide and it should apply to the whole country, but don't ask me, I don't know anything about that shit. My neighbours in Cambodia were accommodating, however, there was some noise when barbecue pork, okay, well, whatever that means. When you were barbecuing the pork? She wasn't my only problem. Oh, okay, fair enough. She wasn't your only problem. Okay. So Thailand, $1,000 a month. Spain seems to come up. I've sort of seen different articles from around the place of Spain. You can go and buy a whole village in Spain for $100,000 US, and I'm talking like you can have villas and you can basically have dozen shops and houses. You can buy the whole freaking village for $100,000 US, from what I understand. But of course they're up in the mountains and there's no people living there anymore. People have moved out. They've all gone to the city to find jobs. But they're sort of saying here Spain's an alternative, $2,000 a month. But again, would I go to Spain? Nah. Even in the event of a military coup here and the difficulties we have, I just personally just love Thailand. I think it's the way to go. What is other people's thinking? What does everybody else think about for their a retirement destination?
Well, I've been thinking about Thailand.
Oh, have you? Well, you're biased. You're biased. Come on. Don't talk about everybody. We've got 30 people watching. Come on.
You can put 2 down for Thailand.
Yeah, well, the 2 here. Unfortunately, we're fanboys. Okay, come on, we're fanboys. What about the others here? Like, come on. Well, Robert, you can't say anything.
Mayor Graves has made it 4.
Yeah. Stephen Monash. Well, Stephen
made it 5.
Stephen Monash keeps on talking about Thailand, but he keeps on. He's very reluctant to actually, do anything about it. He's more concerned about his watches than he is about Thailand, I'm sure.
Oh, he likes his watches too,
Does he?
Stephen.
Yeah.
New Guinea friend.
You got to have your fashion watch,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Guess watch. There you go. That will annoy you.
Well, that's mine. I've got the Apple. So
You got the Apple Watch, have you? Oh my God, he's a Thailand
I've got the Apple
fanboy,
Watch.
Thailand fanboy, and an Apple fanboy. Oh my God.
We can still mix.
Bolt's sort of saying he's staying put. Like he's got a girl. She's going to find it difficult moving out of Thailand. She doesn't speak very good English, from what I understand.
Go hopping.
Bossa Nova, my ex-father-in-law used to own Churchill Island. Hey, really? Oh my God. Go hopping. Good morning. Good afternoon. Yeah, he's in Thailand. He's morning, so that's all right. I said it right the first time. I've actually missed a few other people, so shout outs to other couple of people out here. Who else have I missed?
Eric's thinking about old Blighty.
Yeah, I'm going to live in Thailand. I live in England to retire. Why is that, Eric? Come on, give us an area. You can't just say that and without a reason. Yes, Vietnam is another good option. I think the other article I had up there on screen, they did mention Vietnam as opposed to Thailand. Vietnam, I've had a couple of my friends live in Vietnam or have been living in Vietnam, and their opinion was the fact that, if it wasn't for the fact that some mitigating circumstances, they would have chosen Thailand as opposed to Vietnam, and they've lived in both places. There's just some complications there. It's like there are places in Vietnam, from what I understand from these people, that are no-go zones. Foreigners are not allowed to live in certain places in Vietnam. Again, this is a communist regime, and it's again fairly well sort of military controlled to a high degree in that sort of way. So, Vietnam. Push come to shove, maybe. Cambodia is a nice choice, but that's Cambodia. From what I understand, Cambodia and Laos seem to lack infrastructure. So in my case, getting plugged in for a good internet service or a good high-speed internet service might be my biggest challenge if I was looking to either of those countries. Maybe I'd have to sort of be a city dweller rather than the outskirts like I am here. So I personally don't like the big cities. I don't mind visiting the big cities, and I think 30 kilometres out of the centre of the city, I think that works for me. But I got Psycho. He's currently looking for a condo in the city. Mark, you're going to be still living. What did you say, Jontian, or are you going to be living in Pattaya?
Rayong.
Oh, you're going to be Rayong. Okay, so but you're going to be living in the city of Rayong.
Look, I've got a couple of different places that I'm looking. I'm looking around Bangchang at the moment, so so it's only, 15 minutes back into Rayong, or 30 minutes or 15, 20 minutes into Jomtien or Pattaya. So
Okay, so you're going for the sort of the ruralish sort of, outskirts, suburban areas.
Yeah, I want close to the beach, close to infrastructure. My daughter, or our daughter, is in college in Rayong centre of Rayong city, so we don't want to be too far away from her. But she's going to be moving to Bangkok when she goes to university, so then it doesn't matter.
Okay. So Robert Groves is sort of saying Laos is really picking up. The Chinese are spending a fortune there to improve it. Against the communist regime, China is trying to own it. China's trying to own all of Asia. I heard recently there's preliminary talks are actually bringing China into the ASEAN region economic zone, which is going to make that whole Asia economic zone the second largest in the world, and it's going to change the dynamic of everything, from what I can understand. China want it because they want to sell the. I've actually got, this is another article I do want to bring up. There's sort of, I don't know if I'm going to, what have we got? What's the time? We've got an hour left. It was to do with get past the Thai-China trade deficit, which shows a bit of highlights a bit of the imbalance between the imports and exports to Thailand-China relationship. Thailand should be stop trying to bend over to China all the time and take it up the arse. What this article talks about, the fact that Thailand is actually in a better position economically to be marketing to the rest of the world, and just stop trying to kiss ass with China. I don't know if we want to talk about that one. We want to talk about that one next week. We might talk about that one next week. But yeah, it's China's trying to own everything. China's trying to own Australia. From what I understand, China owns 1.3% of the Australian landmass now. But it's not the 1.3% landmass that they own. It's the actual figure that's more surprising. It's actually the usable landmass. China now owns somewhere near 10% of Australia, of the usable landmass, like farming usable, mining usable. Australia has a lot of dead land. Sort of 2/3 of it's bloody desert. China doesn't want to own that shit. They want to own the stuff that they can make money with. Why Australia keeps on bending over to China as well and taking that up the arse, I've got no idea. But hey, we don't make those decisions. Just the idiots in Parliament do. Go hopping's having problems with the internet. Okay, fair enough. Wasn't Laos a wonderful place? I think Laos and Cambodia are nice places to visit, but I think it's it's just too much forest and not enough not enough internet service. Wouldn't mind visiting, but I couldn't see myself living in those places. Got rid of the hipsters. China has banned crypto. Yes, we were talking about this before we started. Mind you, the dip hasn't been as so severe as what it was last time when the last China issue came up. But yes, I think most of the people who are speculative traders in China are all exited the market. The people who are doing the actual mining, they're still doing the mining, but they're doing it behind closed doors now. Or probably distributing the mining farms across smaller dens, so that the power usage doesn't get sort of highlighted in their space, to have people knocking on the door. But yeah, it's down 41,000. I saw it dropped down.
Gallo.
The answer to China. Was it Stephen Bonnet said the answer to China is spray it with weed killer once a month. Is that right?
Pretty harsh. Pretty harsh.
Yeah, so China has the money to do some projects. Like I think I was reading today more about the International Space Station. I think its serviceable life has only got 3 more years or something like that in what the planned serviceable life of the International Space Station. One of the Russian modules is falling apart. They were going to try to extend the life of the International Space Station by another 5 years. But no country alone wants to do anything about it. But China's now talking about building their own space station. China owned, China developed, China centric, China everything. Trouble with the governments these days, they don't realise the fact that if we want to succeed as a human race, we need to be a multi-species, multi-planet species. Right, and we need to get out of this damn gravity well and start living in space. But no government wants to fund it. So we've got Bezos, we've got Hansen, and we've got Musk, as private enterprise, now going to own that shit because they've got the money to invest. And governments themselves, they'd rather.
We're pushing to the edge, aren't we? We're pushing to the edge. I mean, you've got those walls in Antarctica that stop us from going any further. Go over those mountains and we fall into space. So,
oh yeah, I know. It's a trouble. I know there's this big ice wall around the edge of it. I don't know. It's just.
That's right.
Somebody sort of threw something up the edge. There's a turtle underneath. Did you know there's a turtle underneath? It rides on the back of a turtle. Oh my God!
I thought it was a frog.
No, it was a turtle. Yes, I mean Terry Pratchett talks about it quite vividly in his novels. He's seen the light. I order hot chips instead of French fries at McDonald's. It's a way to protesting against frogs. Okay, Stephen and Dallo are going head to head with the jokes now. Very good.
Yeah. Shane Hitch has asked a question.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Thai 5-year elite visa? He's thinking of renting out his house in Sydney.
Well, okay, that's a very multifold question. Renting. My experience, well, not my personal experience, but my father's experience of renting. When we went, we rented out for 3 years. When we went to England in 75, we came back, and then 2 years later he rented out again. So we're 75 to 78. We came back. We had an out-of-ground pool that was demolished. The place was a wreck. We had to get painters and decorators in. Right, the agent we had looking after the place didn't do their job. We were in a completely other country. We couldn't control any of that shit that was going on. Get the idea? Then, of course, he went and did it a second time around. He put the thing out to rental again. Same thing happened. Came back to the house after the rental was finished, and the place was demolished again. Renting, sell out. If you don't want those headaches. There is a current property bubble in Australia that will burst, and when it bursts, and of course that's what you're going to look at, the bubble bursting. So that's my first thought. Don't rent, just sell out. If you need to buy back in Australia, then just have a go bag, something like that. Put some money aside to get yourself as re-established. But renting, nah. You're better off putting it into. Go.
I looked at those elite visas, and I'm with Robert Graves. I think that's what Robert's saying is a waste of money. I looked at it and I'm thinking, for all the money that you pay elite visa, what do you actually get that you can't do yourself? So
nothing.
You might get a private car, pick you up at Suvarnabhumi Airport and take you wherever you need to go. Maybe, right? But is that worth the? Don't quote me on the figures, but is that worth the 600 or 800,000 or $1 million baht buy into elite visa? I'm going to be doing my own visa myself. I don't think it's all that. Now Warren's done it and Robert's done it. Is it 1,900 baht a year to do the 12-month extension? And as an elite visa holder, you still have to show up every 90 days at this stage. And the only thing they're doing for you is once a year they do your visa. And listen, you look at Robert, you look at Warren's channel. It doesn't seem a too arduous task to renew your visa once a year. So I don't see.
So long as you're not in Bangkok province.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now that you've moved out, it seems to be a hell of a lot easier. So, and I know a few guys that are down in Rayong province. Tom is down there, and he said it's fairly easy as well. So, yeah.
No,
so
look.
Mr. Mitch. Good morning, Mr. Mitch.
Yeah, Mr. Mitch, good.
It's 600,000.
Okay, so I do actually have a friend of mine that is here from America on the elite visa. He loves the flexibility of being able to come and go and fly around. The only thing is he's having an issue with over the last 18 months is the fact that he's been Thailand bound, right? So with the elite visa, which is probably the only positive, is it gives you a base in Thailand, and you can freely roam throughout Southeast Asia, bouncing in and bouncing out, jump on a sort of a $90 flight to Malaysia, or jump on a $90 flight to Cambodia, and you can go and explore and do all that sort of stuff. And basically you're just walking in, walking out, stamping your book every time, and no questions are asked. No, where's your money? No, the financial aspect of the visa is waived, right? So there's no criticality. Are you a digital nomad trying to scam? Work in a sort of a sweatshop and sewing garments or something at the back end of a soy. That sort of questioning doesn't happen. You are an elite visa holder, and you are treated. I think the elite visa holders do get the express lanes through Swanepoel. And a few things like that, but I've looked into it. I saw no value in it. It's
not for the price.
Not for the price.
Yeah. Well, Robert Groves made a great point, and there is a vlogger in Thailand, and he's 45, ex-military, and he's on an elite visa, and that works for him. So it doesn't work. I didn't see any benefit in it. I'm 55. I can do it all myself. So I'm allowed to stay. But on an elite visa, if you're under 50, then you can stay. You have all the same privileges in living in the kingdom as if you were on an OA visa.
Yeah, so that's it. And you don't have a health insurance issue. Basically, that's waived. So it's for anybody under the age of 50. Yes, the elite visa is the way to go. And I would suggest the fact that once you hit that 50 mark, to save yourself the 600,000 baht every 5 years, I would be upgrading the visa. Just move. You'll obviously have a bank account here. Just stick your 800,000 baht in that bank account and transfer to the OA visa. 900 baht a year, and plus 13,000 baht a year for a health insurance policy, or less if you're looking to insure yourself. I think you can get it a low. I think Jerry pays 8,000, but he's got a 200,000 baht excess on his because he has a secondary health policy out of America, which doesn't qualify for the OA, but it gives him full coverage of like up to $3 million or something. I don't know, some bizarre amount of American dollars for basically he could have a full body replacement effectively here in Thailand and not have to pay a cent. There are health insurance policies that'll cover you to that level, but of course that still won't cover you for getting your renewal here in Thailand. So he has that secondary throwaway policy for about 8,000 baht a year. So for less than 10,000 baht a year, you can stay in Thailand, as opposed to effectively 120,000 baht, which is your elite visa. As for the renewal,
Alan said, different visas for different age groups. There's lots of different ways to come to the kingdom. Lots of different ways.
Yeah, I also heard that my mate that's on the elite visa, he has to go with the agent to do the renewal. They might do it with you, but you still got to be there. You got to show up in person where they're going to match your photo. So
you still have to turn up in person.
Yeah, but you have an agent there that holds your hands through the process and fast tracks it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So yeah, it's still time out of your day though. I hope that answers your question. So it's a visa for the people who can't find something alternative. It's also Psycho's looking at maybe if he doesn't get the visas that he wants, he's on the COVID extensions right now. From his tourist visa, he's gone to COVID extension visas. He's trying to get a education visa, but because the schools aren't open and nobody's issuing the visas for schools because the schools are being closed, he's going to basically have to do COVID extensions back to back until there's something definite. He's also looked at what they call the there's an O visa. It's a volunteer visa, which I think I've mentioned before. That seems a bit on the suspicious side. What are you volunteering for? Supposedly these are a tick box visa that gives you up to 15 months here in the country, but what happens after the 15 months? Do you continue to volunteer for something, or are they going to crack down on that one? All that sort of stuff, because it's a big hole, if you know, there's a big hole in the visa thing, because it seems like a lot of the agents are now using that, and there just seems to be too much grey areas around it. But anyway, I'm no visa expert, and I always purport that's my defence. You want to talk to visas? talk to immigration. Corbus, yes, g'day Corbus. We've seen this in a dystopian future type movies. Big corporations will take over space. Yes, I think that was the theme in the series called Firefly. But yeah, in that one there it was the Americans. Basically, Americans and the Chinese got together, and they became a super mega corporation for space travel or something like that. But it seems to be a common space theme. Oh, I saw that, what was that damn series? I picked up the first episode of that new Apple series last night. Let me see if I can find it. Foundation. There's a new series out called Foundation, which a lot of the movie review channels and things like that and bloggers are saying we all love Dune, but this thing here that Apple's releasing called Foundation is going to be the next biggest thing in science fiction. I watched the first episode, and I could sort of see just from the first hour-long episode, the depth of the story could be completely astounding. So if you haven't got a copy of it already, or if you're not on Apple TV, definitely sort of see if you can find a copy of that and check out the first episode. But it could be the next big science fiction thing, moving on from Star Trek and all the genre. There's a lot of depth possibly. Where's it moving right along? Their language is pain too. Okay. I'm a sellout, liquidating everything. Yeah, that's it. If you've always, I think one of the things I was trying to get back to on that subject of selling everything is the fact that if you leave yourself a little nest in that country, it's too tempting if something goes wrong here to work through the problem. I've seen a couple of people here in Thailand who have had roots back in their home country, and when COVID hit, that's it. They just uprooted and went back because they said it was just too difficult for them. They just didn't want to have the hassles. They'd rather deal with shit, in their home country than deal with it here in Thailand. But quite frankly, apart from the fact that they're not telling me when I get my second shot, I'm not worried. They're not going to let. There's so many good stuff in my book to make life so much more enjoyable. Just to get on my bike and go for a ride. in Australia, I believe 3 people
Yeah.
riding together in Australia, the police will just pull you over, regardless of who you are. What sort of democratic free country is Australia when you can't get 3 people riding in a group? It's a dystopian society. At least here, we go on, well, when we've done it, we've gone on rides with 10 to 15, 20 people in a ride. No problem whatsoever. No, apart from a couple of roadblocks every so often that we sort of, had to pull over at. As long as you've got your camera gear turned on and running, they seem to let you through. You're not paying for the Christmas fund, at least anyway, when you've got a camera on. Dad, Stephen, you can drive it. No, I'm sorry, you can't drive it. Talking a leave visa, I'm sorry. No foreigner can get a tuk-tuk license. It's just definitely a no-go for anybody that doesn't have a Thai ID card. Be fun though.
To place my bets for the
Place your bets. So who are you betting for?
Well, I'm gonna go for the D's. I'm gonna go for Melbourne. They haven't had a win for something like 57 years or 58 years or something. So we'll see how they go.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my bookie ring me up from wanting to know how much money I wanted to put on. So I said 15 bitcoins.
Oh,
they are.
well, really? Yeah. Just careful what you say. Gambling is illegal in Thailand, even though you might be betting in Australia. It's still considered illegal here in Thailand.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Mark.
I've got my Bitcoin here.
Oh, you got one?
I've got Bitcoin.
Does that actually have?
One. Yeah.
Does that have?
Mine it.
Does it have chocolate in the inside or what?
It's pretty hard. Let me just. No, it's real Bitcoin.
It's real Bitcoin.
Yeah. I had to mine. I went mining for it, pick and shovel.
Dig and shovel, really? Okay.
And mine.
Yeah, I need one of those too. How much are they? You get them for 35 baht in the 20 baht store, don't you? That's all they get.
I had to work for mine.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah, look, the trouble is, everybody's going to have exactly the point. Everybody's going to have their, what floats their boat when they're choosing a destination. All we can do is, you got to look at a number of different people doing YouTube, which can be a little bit, I said fanboyish. I love Thailand. I love my girl. I don't plan to go anywhere. People who are making those choices, like Mark and Todd here, making their choices based on their specific criteria. But yeah, sort of some people might, not like the fact that we've got a military government here, which that's a valid reason. But again, I could sort of list all the great things about Australia, and so I could find 100 good things about living in Australia, which would, be, if I was living in another country, which would make Australia look good to me. The only reason why I don't like Australia is the fact that, one example, you can't ride in a group. 2, the fact that, the high taxation, which seems to be all hidden. What else is there? The police, it's very much of a police state. The high surveillance mandate of Australia, the lack of internet coverage, the things that really sort of make my experience in Thailand enjoyable as opposed to what it would be like in Australia. High cost of living in Sydney. Now I could have moved to Queensland with a couple of my mates, and we could be sharing an accommodation there. But again, it's an alternative. If I got kicked out of the country, it's probably what I'd end up probably going back to Australia specifically and hanging out and just living with Eric, and in his 2-bedroom flat, or I think he's got a townhouse or something like that in the south of Brisbane. To share the rent with him, he's already said, if push comes to shove, come and stay here. It would be good. And I could live a very inexpensive life, down south of Brisbane. Great weather, the whole thing. I'd then get access to a few other lurks and perks, but no, I'm sorry. My girl's here. I love the weather. Even when it rains, I love the weather. It just, to me, there's just, I feel free here as opposed to Australia. Warren has a link.
I'll share my sunset from last night. Have a look at that.
Oh, lovely, lovely, yes. We had cloud cover all thing.
Beautiful.
Warren has an elite barbecue. Yes, I do have an elite barbecue. Johnny D, g'day, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yes, we are. It has it's 4 burner plus a side burner. Yeah, that's it. That's it, I'm moving across the Gulf. Best thing about Australia is the view. Right, yeah, Steve. Robert, best thing about Australia is the view when you're flying out. I think I'd have to agree with that one. Okay, guys, got to go. Run, take care. Yes, okay, no problem. Okay, I was going to ask a question. It seems to be still a continuing problem with a lot of people who follow the channel. They complain the fact that we do this Saturday morning thing and they can't join in because I guess they're from Europe or from UK or Europe and they'd like to join in. Should we move this program to another time? 10 o'clock in the morning starting is good for me. That's one of the reasons why I do it. Should we be changing it? Should we sort of look at a different time? It means sort of upsetting my total routine, but if we got some sort of suggestions from other people about, I don't know, I could probably do a poll. Do I have to set up a poll or something? I don't know. I got to think of the timings. Oh my God. But anyway, we could talk about it. Is this time difficult for people? It
was a good time for Australians.
Yeah.
And it was a good time for me in Thailand as well now. But I do know, I think it's the middle of the night in the UK and probably the middle of the night in America as well. I'm not sure. So, where are you, mods?
It's all right, I just did it.
Yeah.
They'll be back on in a second. It's just one of those sort of things that they do. These aren't people, these are just bots. There's nobody behind it, you just got to be quick off the mark. Go hopping. 10 a.m. is difficult. On Saturday it's difficult for me. I don't wake up until 6 p.m. on Saturdays.
Oh, what it's like to be young again.
Well, but again, there's no go-go bars open, so what point does that make? Come on.
Where is he till 6 p.m?
He's sleeping in.
I know he's in bed, but where was he the night before?
Brycey's turned up. G'day, Bryce. He might turn his camera on, and then you might want to just hide in the background.
G'day, guys.
Be a discombobulated voice in the background.
I'm actually just popped in to give you a quick message, guys. I'll hang on. Sorry, mate.
That's right.
There we are. Sorry, I had YouTube on at the same time, and all I was hearing was a bunch of echoes. Yeah, it's like, what's going on? Everybody's talking at the same time. I'll be back on. I'll be actually monitoring here in the background. I'd like to speak to you, the three of you guys, once you get off here. Yeah,
well, I've actually got to head out pretty much straight up the stream. I've got a 1 o'clock down at the bike shop. I've started doing my fiberglass wrap around my exhaust pipes. I did the first section of it, and God, that is such a fiddly job. I'm going to pay somebody to do the headers. I can't be bothered to do it myself. So I've got an appointment down there at 1 o'clock. So I've got to, as soon as we finish here, I've probably got 10 minutes to wrap up off screen and then head out on the bike. So, but yeah, we'll just stick around anyway.
It's a French.
All right, buddy.
French.
Mhm. Is it good? Is it a good time for me? This is a good time for me, so that's all right. Like I said, I'm not. I don't do this Saturday morning thing for me. I do this thing for the people who can make it. And they, as I said, what seems to be the situation is we might try to have a topic or two to talk about. We get a chance for you guys to chat amongst yourselves. Discord is a big part of it. We're going to continue to push the Discord group aspect. I know a lot of people are scared to turn that on. I don't know why. I know it's not Facebook Messenger, but it's just it's a hangout. It's a club. We will be doing, as I said, one of the things that we've got coming up, which we mentioned in the long version, and I think depending on how I do the edit for the short version, this ride along with I don't know what we're going to call it. When we get Todd here, and when we get Bolt mic'd up on the bikes, and we can actually have that 2-3-way conversation with the riders, right? People on the Discord will get about an hour's notice of when we're going out for a ride. So if you're plugged into the Discord and you've got the app on your phone, it'll ping you on the phone. The fact that we've told everybody we're giving you an hour's notice. You're quite welcome to join in. And be part of that ride. And what will happen is you will get that front-facing, on the handlebar view of where we're going, and be part of the actual group conversation, as we ride around. So it's something we really want to push. We will be recording the whole thing, so the fact that there will be a cut up. There will be a long version for those die-hard motorcycle riders that didn't make the actual time slot, but they can still get an idea of the conversation. There will be also a 20-minute, 15 to 20-minute cut up, which will be a standard sort of video like we normally do. And that's where we're going with that sort of side of the thing. But it's all hinged around our Discord community. So just having an account here and turning on the notifications and things like that, you'll be kept abreast. I'm so anti-Facebook when it's stuff. Like I said, I really want to focus on building a community of like-minded people. And I can't do that with Facebook. I can't do that with YouTube. YouTube is so disconnected. We've got some great friends on YouTube, don't get me wrong. But it's not a community. It's nothing where we can have apart from this Saturday morning, there's no other way you can do a two-way conversation any time of the day. You've got to set up and you've got to put cameras on, and oh my God. Discord is the way to go. And I'm going to continue to push it. And Robert Groves, Discord is terrifying, yes. Yeah, elite Discord. Well, Stephen Monash can make it work, so I'm pretty sure anybody can. Next month, okay, so Bolt's going to get his intercom next month. Next month is only 2 weeks away, that's pretty good. Again, I'm sure that Bolt, because he works here and maybe his budget is a bit budget constrained because he's in remote conferencing with his students at the moment without actually sort of doing full-time student work. Must be a bit challenging. You got to work to your budgets. You can't splurge and spend money. I know I probably spend a little bit too much on the excessive little items every so often, but. Hey, I need them. I need my Seraphonic. I need the dual microphone. It's part of what I do. You guys help me pay for that shit. It's out of my budget. It's what YouTube gives me a per diem for putting stuff on their video channel. Yeah, don't forget there's a super chat thing down below. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, blah blah. Oh my God, that sort of seems so basic stuff. Come on, just you know what to do, guys. Just hit the share, hit the like. Tell people. Well, 9 likes. Oh my God. Slacker. Slack audience today. And of course it's going to play an ad when I do that refresh. Yeah, still 9 likes. Yeah. You guys don't like the stream, so I understand that. It's 13 now. There we go. So you got to remind people. You know, it's your job as the audience to press that button. You shouldn't need reminding. I make a terrible YouTube, I really do. Just a working stiff, he says. Yeah, that's it. He's just a working stiff, but he's got a lovely, cute girlfriend. Are you? I didn't even ask. Are you married, Bolt, or is it you're living in sin, as the Americans would say? Things change here very quickly, John D. So keep an eye on things. That's it. Do you think January? Look, I've been sort of saying if you're planning to, come for Thailand for holidays, I haven't really moved from Q2 2022 is probably a safe bet if you're doing planning. I think we should have things under wraps by then. And there's Dalla. Good on you, Dalla. I should have brought you shown you the barbecue tools I managed to get for 450 baht.
I got some tools.
I got a set of tools. You want me to go and get them? You can talk amongst yourselves. I can go show that. You're going to want to see my tool. Be back in 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm starting to understand why Stephen Monash got himself banned from YouTube.
Yeah.
Cue the song and get off and press the like on the way out, you elite bastard.
Yeah, I don't think we're elite. I think we're down to earth Australian guys. No, he's not going to show that one, Robert. No, he won't show that one. No. Well, I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. He's back now. We'll find out, Robert. We'll find out.
Of course, I need to just go and drop off the background so we can actually show them properly. So let me just show that. Go to original. Yeah, so, 450 baht. Look at that, would you?
That's
what do you reckon?
Nice.
It's a nice set of barbecue tools. Stainless steel. It's not
Home Pro?
No, we got it. I got it through Lazada.
Okay.
I'll start calling you Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I believe that the meat from around here, the cheek, it's supposed to be the most flavoursome part of the human body, according to Hannibal Lecter.
I don't know. I always go for the arse myself.
Is that right? No. I think the first or second episode of the Hannibal Lecter series that came to it was supposedly he'd always take the cheek parts here first because it was like the ribeye of a steak, Alan, thank you very much. Testing. Oh, I need VPN. Rejoin to supercharge. Really? I know what it's like. Yeah, it's the way it works. But yeah, let me just put my background back on. Use a different one. Well, newsroom. Let's go to the news. Let's put the newsroom on. Yeah, so I got the tools. So I got the barbecue, got the tools. So I've got to. So after I go down to the motorcycle shop today, I've got to get back here, and I got to do. I'm doing spaghetti bolognese tonight. So I've got all that stuff ready to go. I'm also going to get some milk too. Get the milk. Don't forget the milk. Yeah. Otherwise, I won't have my coffee in the morning. Don't like black coffee. Got to have milk.
How are you going to cook spaghetti bolognese on a barbecue, mate?
No, I have to do that inside. But I've got the side burner and I've got a wok. I could probably put it in there, but unfortunately, I've got a nice big deep frying pan that I use on the cooker inside for doing that. I could put that outside and do it outside, but might as well do it inside. That's spaghetti bolognese. It's not like I need a barbecue for that.
Yeah, you can do it on a barbie. I've seen it done before.
Yeah, there's all sorts you can do. Like I could do the do the onions. Get the onions and the capsicum and tomatoes sautéed first. Which is part of the preparation for my bolognese. But yeah, it's just a lot easier to just throw it in the fry pan in Mother's kitchen. I don't have gas in my side. I've only got electronic stuff in my side. But yeah, so. Yeah, that's still an ongoing issue. Chanya's put the word out at the moment to for getting the builders back here to talk about doing all the cupboard work in my kitchen. But yeah, so far they're on big build projects, so I'm stuck. Bolognese in wok works perfectly. No, I prefer the flatter pan. It's got to have a flatter base. Because the way I do it, I normally do a 3-week supply of the bolognese sauce and freeze 2 weeks of it. So I like a big deep bowl. Let it simmer there for an hour or so. Of course, some people, some of the expert bolognese cookers was to say if you're not simmering it for a week, it's not real bolognese. Well, I can get away with 2 hours.
Just make a bunch of it. It gets better over time, doesn't it?
Well, that's the way it is, It's got to have some paprika in it. It's got to have chili in it. It's got to have all sorts, It's got to have oregano. It's got to have mushrooms. Oh mate, there's so many things you've got to throw in it. And all those flavours have to get through everything. The last batch I made, actually, I think I had a cheaper pork mince than I normally buy. And it was a little bit too fatty. I should have probably drawn. There we go, those fucking bots again.
Yeah, I did a chicken tikka masala today, and it turned out pretty decent.
Yep. A great investment to bring chicken masala. What is the chicken masala again? I think I know that one.
It's actually more of it's an Indian dish, but it's more of a British.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we were talking about the masala sauce. That's right. But I actually don't know the dish. So it is a chicken dish, is it? Chicken curry.
But it could be any meat. You can have a vegetarian if you like, but essentially it's just a chicken tikka masala sauce. Which is made up by a variety of herbs and spices from India, of course, with tomato paste in there and yogurt and coconut milk and cream and onions, and I could go on for hours, mate. But it's just really, really good.
I'm just trying to imagine the flavour. So yeah, okay. Yeah. So again, once I get in my kitchen, I'll be able to do things like. Cordon bleu chicken and a few other sort of specialties that I used to like making at home. But yeah, we'll get to the cooking channel somewhere down the track.
So Mark, are you in Thailand? I only came on late today.
All right, wait.
Yeah,
You
go and
guess
show
where I
him.
am.
Go and show him.
Oh, here we go.
You can guess where I am.
Oh mate, that's downtown Sydney, isn't it? Just kidding.
Yeah.
It's overlooking the Maribyrnong River or the Yarra River in Melbourne.
That looked more like
Very, very
bloody
nice,
Brisbane,
mate.
didn't it? That looked like more like Brisbane. But anyway. Was that Fraser Island? Was that Fraser Island in the distance? I don't know.
No, I can confirm that it is Kolan Island in the background.
Congratulations.
Vegemite on toast. Well, only Australians understand the importance of Vegemite. Yes,
No, us British do too, mate.
You and your bloody Marmite crap. It's not the same as Vegemite.
Marmite and Bovril, mate.
Oh,
We're gonna have the Vegemite Marmite debate now, are we? Okay.
no, I'll throw Promite in there as well.
All these lookalikes. No, Vegemite is it. Vegemite and Vegemite and cheese.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
on toast.
And plain crisps. plain crisps on top
well,
of that. To give you
so
the
that's why you
double
get
crunch.
a chip butty. Yes, I know the chip butty. That's the way one way to
Yes.
go. Vegemite and chip butty. But yeah, I like
With the cheese. You could have the cheese.
I like the
I
Vegemite.
love that.
Vegemite with the vintage cheese on top, underneath the griller.
Yeah.
Cheese on toast, mate, with Vegemite. That was perfect. And of course, the other Australian favourite that not many people know about is bacon, baked beans, and eggs on toast.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mate,
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I got to teach the girl this one here. She's going to love that
Salt
shit.
and
She
vinegar
really is.
chips, yes.
Salt and vinegar
When I
chips.
When I worked on the tools many years ago, I'd have salt and vinegar chips, a Mars bar, and a Big M for morning tea, all crunched up together. Breakfast of champions.
Oh, listen, breakfast. Talk about breakfast. Like, I used to be sort of into cereals, as a sort of a morning starting thing. Vita Brits, Wheat Bix, Cocoa Pops, cornflakes. And I used to vary them, But I started that when I moved over here, probably the first 6 months. But I just went away from it. I just have no passion to eat a cereal anymore. I don't know. Is that an experience other people have had here? Do people go away from the cereals?
I've got. They give me so much food here. I've got 4 packets of cornflakes stacked over there that I can't eat because they just throw food at me. I've just had lunch arrived, a great big club sandwich, chips, a salad, some steamed carrots, and some steamed broccoli.
Yeah, Robert had Cocoa Pops yesterday. Stephen might ask, but he's not in Thailand. He's still doing Vita Brits and milk. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's the original Fruit Loops, I wouldn't walk past them. I'd probably get into them. And having a childhood memory flashback.
America is full of Fruit Loops, I tell you.
No, you haven't lived until you've had the proper Fruit Loops.
Okay.
You can feel the teeth start to loosen after you've had your first spoonful as the sugar eats away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's probably about 2% protein, 94% sugar.
I'll tell you what. I don't know how much different.
Salt.
Sorry,
I don't know how much different Vegemite is to Marmite, but if you actually put some Marmite on burgers when you're cooking, it gives them a nice flavour. Just a little idea,
I put Vegemite in my spaghetti bog, mate. That and half a bottle of red wine.
That's something I haven't actually put in my spaghetti mix over here because the fact that the price of bloody red wine is extortionate. Yeah. Right? So I've had to sort of modify my spaghetti bowl recipe to not have the red wine in it. But as I said, it works out quite well. Prunes and prunes and
What's that?
I don't know. I think
it's Stephen being Stephen.
Stephen's lost the plot as usual.
Man after my own heart, Robert Groves.
Vegemite is better. Like all the Australians are quite in agreement the fact that Vegemite is the way to go. Plus a thick slab of cheddar. Yeah, there we go. What do you guys feed kangaroos down there? We don't feed the kangaroos anything. They're bloody pests. They eat everything. They're like goats, but they only eat the green stuff. So they, keep them out of your vegetable gardens because they'll eat all the lettuce and carrots and get the idea. They eat green stuff. Basically, their native food is just grass, but they'll eat anything.
Chateau La Cardboard. What vintage, Robert? What vintage?
Oh, that's
about a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Week and a half old. Yeah.
July, August. That was a good month.
Yeah, barbecue monitor lizard on the spit. Yeah, you saw that video. I think the video that just went up there sort of scared the shit out of Chanya. We had a lovely little monitor lizard sort of deciding to sort of sun itself in the restaurant there. But yeah,
it was a great year. Not if you're in Australia. But anyway.
2021 Mark was a great year. Oh my God.
Oh, you got to love an aged casked wine.
An age cast wine. But of course, it has to, when you start to think of it, it has to be aged somehow, because there is a fermenting process. It's not like that they can just put the grapes in a bowl. They do go through some sort of fermentation. But I remember when I used to make sort of my ginger beer, it only took 4 weeks before it gets a nice 4 or 5% alcohol by volume.
What did we call cask wine in Australia? God, what was it called? Come on, Todd, what was it? It's called a. Oh, remember we used to.
I never drank it.
No, I never drank it either. But they had a name for them. Come on, Robert. What was the name that we all used to? Oh, was it a? It's on the tip of my tongue. An oogie or a baggy or a. What was it?
Baggy.
No, I can't remember. Everyone had a name for a a goon. Well done, Stuart. Well done, Stuart.
A goon. Okay. I don't recall it being called a goon. Maybe it's just because
yeah. Here you go. You can have a Bitcoin each. A goon.
I just remember it being called a baggy.
Yeah, goonie, a goonie, goonie or a goon bag, depending on what side of the Murray you were on. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so I'm being educated. Maybe being Hornsby Heights, we didn't have goons there.
Private school educated, of course.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Maybe that's part of it. I did go to Fort Street after all. Come on.
No, we were just into green ginger wine. We didn't have baggies. We just found that green bottle. Yeah.
Stones, green, bottle of Stones. Christ, mate, how old are you? Because that goes back to the 70s.
Can't you see the grey?
Yeah, you can use the bladder for a pillow as well. I know we had sort of, you jump in the back of the paddy van, and you got a couple of plush cushions and half a dozen blown up cushions. Which was the old bladders from the 4-litre casks.
Yeah, flagon of goon. Well done, Jim Collis and Shane Hinch. Well done. Yeah. Well, the leg openers. Well, they were the Bacardi breezes in the small bottles and stuff. That's what we used to call them in Victoria.
I remember that stuff. Yeah, look, we were on this sort of from the place that made that stuff, the Dr. Jer's Jungle Juice. It was only a 45-minute drive from my house. It was a good Saturday outing to go up there. I can't quite remember. Haven't you gone to work yet? Look at the time, darling.
Not go today.
Why not?
I have some.
Oh yes, you got the builders coming in, yeah.
And now come here, but you just talk friend.
You not come here? You
Uh-huh.
you come down,
No,
kiss
I'm
me.
sorry.
Why?
Just talk.
He's
Sabadi
talking.
Mari.
So Mark said hello.
Hello, สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ everybody.
Let me just turn the. Come on, come down here. Come and say hello. People want to see my girl.
Sabadi Mari.
Hello, สวัสดีค่ะ
Yeah.
สวัสดีครับ
I want you to go something little bit. but
You want?
just talk.
You want mine? What do you want?
Uh,
You want to drill something? You want me to drill something?
yeah.
Oh God.
Chanya's got the drill. Oh no.
Well, the drill's downstairs.
Downstairs.
That's
Then
right.
only
10
5
minutes.
minutes.
7 nati.
Okay.
7 nati. Okay. Well, it looks like I've been called away to do some housework before I get down to the motorcycle work done. Such is life. Anyway, 10 minutes to go. Eric, is the more classy areas of Australia we call cask wine Chateau Cardboard?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was something that comes to mind is what we would call it. I think most of the time, because the girls that we hung out with in Hornsby Heights, it was wasn't the wine, it was the coolers. And we just call them cooler, you know, they'd rock up with a cooler.
West Coast coolers and stuff.
Yeah, the coolers, they just would come up with a cooler.
Alexia it was called.
Oh, there was
Fruit
different,
Alexia.
there were different
That was
versions.
like the West Coast coolers in the cask.
Oh, the flagon. Oh.
Thank you.
Going back to my old man's days to drinking there when he'd sit outside the milking shed with a flagon.
Yeah, living north.
Crown Port, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, living north of Sydney, you know, just on the you know the edge of edge of Sydney there, we weren't too far away from the Hunter Valley, so I had actually a wine collection as opposed to cask wine. You know, a couple of nice. You know, we had Tyrrells up there, and we had Pepper Pot. I always liked the Pepper Pot. That was one of the wineries up there. That was one of my favourites.
Oh, you're getting desperate now, Robert Groves.
But yeah, we had some pretty good wineries up there in the Hunter Valley, and of course they were only an hour's drive from where we lived. So it was a good Saturday or Sunday drive. Cooking sherry, cooking sherry. Best wines, best, yeah, okay. Of course, you know, alcohol is bad for you. Let's just make sure we time out. Don't drink to excess. Don't drink and drive. Where's the donut wish list if you need a donut wish list? You just got to just she's got a Facebook page. Just hit her up on Facebook. I don't know how proactive she is on the Facebook page. She actually answers the messages there. But you generally just rock up to the salon. The locations in the Facebook page. Alice Beauty Salon. Come on.
Would you have ice with that, Stephen Monash? Would that be over ice?
Where is it?
Vinegar turps with a touch of Kero. Shaken, not stirred.
There we go. Just so that you got a. If you're not following her Facebook page, there you go. You can follow her Facebook page. Gives you the location where it is. It's 200 baht for a haircut, or for Krispy Kreme donuts. Is it true elite visa holders only shop at Tops Market and never be? I have no idea. Maybe they have a discount card at Tops Market. I don't know. I don't know enough about that, but you can always. I've been meaning to say. Hopefully, at some stage, I'll get my mate who's elite visa holder. He has been on my Discord channel before, but I don't think he gets up at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I should see if I can sort of get him on for a show and we can talk about the elite visa holder at some stage. Get him to add his 2 cents worth. Few miles away from yeah, okay. Anyway, look, we are wrapping the last of the show. Any other questions before we get out of here? Yeah, okay, let's give them 30 seconds to reply to that one, of course. We've had just look at the stats. We've had a good steady crowd in and out all day. And things all catching up and doing all that sort of stuff, whatever's going on there. Where do babies come from?
That's next week. We'll talk about that.
Okay, right. So
here's what I've got ruined right now. There you go. They come from in here.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So you know how to use the Discord. You kind of put it in the live stream discussion topics thread there, and we can definitely put that one up there. I can do some research.
See you, Robert.
Anyway, we're out of here, guys. Cue the song and get off. He says, cue the song and get off. We're going to wait for the actual fire. You know, yes, he wants us to go. We've just got the 5 minutes to go. We're only, how long are we into? 89 minutes. Started 89 minutes ago. That's not right. We've been on for 2 hours. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The data from YouTube is always so whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Catch your bolt.
Yep. Yeah, look, Bolt, we'd like to have you come on as well. So get your laptop set up, and you know we can have a day asking Bolt questions about Thai language, because he's really quite good at that stuff. I love it. We could talk about rice. Never eat their own earwax because it tastes awful. Okay, whatever. Your 5 minutes of fame ended hours ago. Whatever. Come check out the channel. Yes, yeah. Look, let me just quickly. If you're not subscribed to Bolt's channel, let's see if I can quickly get it up on here. Get me a link. Hey. Hey kid, it's Dad. There's the link. Let me just go back into there, whack that into here. Yeah, there's Bolt's channel. There's his link. Go on, click on that and subscribe, and check out what he's been doing.
You can exercise your own finger, Stephen Monash. You have the power here in this little finger.
Cue the song and get off. Look, guys, we're going to wrap up. We've got to go downstairs. We've got to see what we've got to talk about here as well. So Bryce had something to ask me a question of. I'll drop the live stream next week. Drop by the live stream serving and join the video. Okay, cool. Okay, let me find the song. Let's get out of here, and we'll talk to you next week. As usual, peace out, guys. Stay cool. Stay cool. Don't drink and drive. Go. What's this bloody football shit? Don't drink and drive. Thailand is great. Fanboy. Ride motorcycles. Keep the rubber side down. You know how it all works. I'm getting out of here. Bye now.
I want you to lift me up so high, a place that no one's ever been. Take me to a